You were doing so well in the first few weeks of your weight loss journey, but then you just quit. And you think you quit because the diet was hard to maintain, but it's actually your brain fighting against five types of these predictable resistance patterns that you are going to face as you try to lose weight and as you try to eat healthier. I'm Holly Bertone, former FBI Chief of Staff for Counterintelligence, now known as the Emotional Eating Profiler and Coach. I was trained in elite level pattern recognition at the FBI, and now I use those same pattern recognition skills to help you find out why you can't lose weight and why everything you tried has failed. Today, you are going to find out exactly what this rebellion looks like and what you can do to stop the sabotage before it happens. And what's really cool about today's episode is that I have with me on Zoom a live studio audience for the third time ever. And after I finish the episode, we are going to continue to record, and these women are going to have a chance to ask questions and get some coaching in real time. A few episodes ago, I talked about the weight loss quitting zone and how to get through this. So if you haven't listened to that yet, be sure to go back and catch that episode after you listen to this one, because that episode, it talked about quitting, but it talked about it from more of a personal journey and some things that I went through of what I experienced when I wanted to quit, to help you understand what it feels like when you want to quit. If I were to bet a dollar, I would say with 1000% certainty, every single woman has thought about quitting multiple times along her weight loss journey. And I'm getting some nods here with my live audience. The majority of them do actually quit. Quitting during your weight loss journey, it is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So we have to fight fire with fire. This episode and the next episode, we are going to get into the nitty-gritty of how your brain completely rebels when you try to lose weight, which then makes you want to quit. Actually, let me say it a different way. Your perception is that your brain is rebelling, but it's actually just predicting your future based on your past reactions. Today, you're going to get the 5 types of predictable resistance patterns that you will experience that will make you feel like quitting is the most next inevitable step. But you're also going to get those predictive patterns so that you can be aware of and so you can start to brainwash yourself to finally stay on track. So let's jump in. Number 1 is physical resistance. What this looks like is fatigue in your first couple of weeks as your body starts to shift energy production. Digestive changes as the processed food starts to clear out. Sleep disruption as cortisol recalibrates. Your weight going up before it goes down. And feeling worse before you feel better. These changes are all going to happen in that first month. And most women don't know the signs, so they think something's wrong because it feels like something's wrong. They think that something's not working because the only thing that they're seeing is that everything is getting worse. When you shift your fuel source from sugar and processed food and fast food to actual real whole foods, your body needs that time to adjust and perform a natural detox. This is what your body is supposed to do. This is God's design and infinite wisdom. Because your body has no clue what to do when you feed it all of these chemicals and the industrial lubricant known as heart-healthy vegetable oil. So what your body does, it stores all of this as visceral fat in your belly so that it doesn't harm your organs. And on the flip side, your body knows exactly what to do with real food. Your body knows how to process real food for fuel. And you've probably been feeding your body a bunch of processed crap for decades. So give your body a little grace and give it some time to adjust. And what this looks like in real life, you're waking up even more bloated and exhausted, and the scale's jumping up. This is when you convince yourself it is not working, so why bother? By the way, if you're getting value out of this video, hit that thumbs up and subscribe button. Number 2 is emotional withdrawal. This is irritability. This is mood swings because food stops being your coping mechanism. You are going to have grief, like legitimate grief for the routines, the identity, the habits, and the food that you are leaving behind. You're going to have sadness and anxiety that has no obvious trigger, that just kind of comes out of the blue. And you're going to feel like you are losing a part of yourself, which obviously is still attached to grief. So how is it that we as women, we are designed to be emotional creatures? And then what happens, we get all up in our big feelings and we act like they just came out of the blue, and we think that something is wrong with us. Here's the thing. We have been programmed for decades that food equals comfort, or food equals comfort, celebration, relaxing, reward, numbing, family, friends, tradition, routine, safety, predictability, and identity. We turn to food to reward ourselves after a long, hard day. We eat quote unquote clean and healthy all week long, and then we reward ourselves on the weekend for being good. We feel lonely, we feel bluesy, and then food is the consolation prize. So when all of a sudden that comfort food is gone, there is a big gaping hole in our lives, and we grieve real big. We grieve real big. And we don't have that comfort food to eat to soothe our big grieving. So you say to yourself, I'm miserable. I can't live like this. I can't sustain this. Diets never work for me. While your brain is going through the withdrawal process and you are grieving from not having comfort food, your emotions are also going through their own withdrawal process. When you're not getting the comfort from the Reese's cup, you are still craving that Reese's cup, and you're still craving the feelings that Reese's cup gave you. And everyone thinks they just need to change the food on their plate. Oh, I just need to eat healthier. I just need to make better choices. But what you're really doing is you're changing your entire relationship with food. Your body and your brain, it is responding to this like actual grief when you lose a relationship with someone you are close to, because you are in that relationship with food. And when this happens, do you think that it's easier to stay the course or just give in and go back to the comfort food? And that is exactly why women quit. And I'm getting some yeses here in my studio audience. Number 3 is behavioral resistance. So behavioral resistance is what emotional withdrawal looks like on the outside. So number 2 is that emotional withdrawal. Behavioral resistance is what this actually looks like on the outside. I call this one ants in the pants, because now that your comfort food is gone, your lens of viewing the world is different. You've gone from walking around just fine to now you're going through all these changes and you feel like you've got ants crawling in your pants. Like you're squirming around, you're not comfortable, like nothing feels good in your body. You ants in your pants. You are acutely aware of the little buggers in your drawers. So what does this look like? All of a sudden, everything revolves around food. It is all you can think about. 9 p.m. sharp, the pantry is calling your name like a toddler trying to get mama's attention. Mama, 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 mama. That is the pantry. You are picking fights with your loved ones, or you are creating chaos because now all of a sudden you have peace in your life and that peace feels boring, and boring is unsafe. Or you make one quote unquote bad food decision, which triggers an entire all or nothing spiral. This is when you cannot sit still, literally and figuratively. It's like this, all of a sudden you have a glimpse into your own Breaking Bad episode. Food is this 24/7 voice in your head. It is calling your name. It is taunting you. And you are going to stir up that chaos because you can't sit still because you got ants in your pants. And it's this compulsion. You have to do something to distract yourself. So you're doom scrolling, you're on Amazon, you're running into Target, you're going into Home Goods to shop, you're reaching for another glass of wine, you are rage cleaning, you're working longer hours, you're picking fights with your spouse. Your brain is looking for anything to make that discomfort stop. It is begging you for relief. And what is the best way to get that relief? It is quitting and going back to your old ways. So by now, your body's acting weird, your emotions are acting weird, and your behavior starts acting weird because you got ants in your pants. So it makes total sense. Number 4 is social resistance, because it's not just your brain that's rebelling, the people around you are rebelling too. You've got the spouse that brings home the pizza even when you ask not to. You've got the friend that's like, oh, just live a little, or one bite's not going to kill you. You've got the coworkers who push the office birthday cake. Remember, we talked about your brain does not like change. Well, people in your life don't want you to change because change makes people uncomfortable. The second you start to do something different, their brain is going to do what it does best to protect them. In your world, this feels like they are rebelling against you. They are rebelling against your progress and your hard work because everything they say and do, it is landing on you and it is about you. But their resistance is actually about them. Now, I can't guarantee, but I can say with a extremely high probability that your loved ones, the people in your life who love you, they're not waking up and they're not waking up and purposely saying, gee, how can I ruin Holly's diet today? They just want you to go back to the way it was. They want their old routines back. They want you to go back to what is familiar to them. For the most part, people who live healthy lifestyles do not judge other people who are trying to get healthy. These people are typically your biggest supporters. But if someone in your world, especially a loved one, especially someone who you have known for a long time, and you have these embedded patterns with them, when they have a more unhealthy lifestyle, you trying to make a better version of you is threatening to them. It is holding up a mirror to them. You getting healthier, eating healthier, being a better version of you is reminding them of their own failures and their own weight struggles. And this has nothing to do with you. This is their perception of what they see in their mirror. And it is a big difference. So what is your response with all of this? Going right back to that emotional withdrawal. Nobody supports me. Everybody hates me. I should just go eat worms. Humans are going to human. Your loved ones have their own brains telling them to project their insecurities and their failures on you. And yes, even the best marriages and the best friendships and the best relationships, we as humans, we are going to human. We can't help ourselves. The other thing to keep in mind is that sometimes it's actually nothing. Like you've been doing things a certain way for so long. It's just your loved one trying to show their love for you by bringing home a cupcake. They're actually on board. They just haven't caught up yet. Number 5 is cognitive dissonance. And I like to call this one your brain's greatest hits. This is when your inner critic gets louder. This is when you decide to justify and rationalize every single decision around food. You feel like everyone else is winning and you're over here being a big fat loser. And then since nothing works, why bother? What I love about the brilliance of your brain, this is golden. If you're not paying attention, come back to me. What I love about the brilliance of your brain is that it does not specifically tell you to quit. It convinces you that quitting is your idea. It literally gaslights you. It is like a kid. It's like when your kid convinces you that because it's summertime, they get to stay up past their bedtime. And you're like, oh, yeah, that makes sense because you don't have to get up early for school in the morning. So, but you have to get up early during the school year. So you deserve to stay up late and sleep in over the summer. Same concept. What does this look like? I want my studio audience here and everyone listening at home, put one finger up in the air for everything that you have said to yourself. I deserve this treat. I'll start my diet on Monday. One bite won't kill me. I should eat everything in moderation. Life is really stressful now. I deserve it. I already blew it, so why bother? Vacation doesn't count. Weekends don't count. I had a hard day. And just this once. We've got, yep, all 10. My studio audience here has all 10. This past week, I had 3 different clients and students try to negotiate their food with me. Like, I am talking, when I say they're trying to negotiate their food with me, I am talking, you can't handle the truth kind of courtroom negotiation. We want it both ways. We want the food and we want the weight loss. But until you get, and this is, weight loss coaches do not tell you this. They want to sell you the easy. But here's what I want you to really listen to. Until you get closer to maintenance mode, you have to make sacrifices. This is the hard truth. And the funny thing about our brain is that between all 5 of these resistance patterns, they get the loudest right before your breakthrough. When they get the loudest is when you are most likely to sabotage yourself. I tell my private clients before they start working with me, it's pretty much like clockwork. Somewhere around that second month, they are going to sabotage themselves. They're going to fall into the pit of despair. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when and how hard they fall. And as scary as this sounds, that sabotage is needed because this is when they have commitment when they start, but that fall into the pit of despair, when they come up out of that, that is when commitment goes from commitment to conviction. Commitment is good. Commitment gets you started. Commitment is good because it's a value thing and it's an integrity thing. But when commitment moves to conviction, it becomes an identity thing. And when it is an identity thing, that's when it is sticky. When it is sticky, it becomes who you are. And that's what we want. Thinking about the 5 types of resistance that we covered today. You've got physical resistance, emotional withdrawal, behavioral resistance, social resistance, and cognitive dissonance, aka your brain's greatest hits. Your CSI red yarn moment is this. Your brain is telling you, and these resistance patterns are telling you, the old you is better. You should go back. But here's what I want you to remember. This happens because your brain is a pattern predicting machine. Your brain is going to assume that your future is going to look exactly like your past. And your brain knows all of your past behaviors. Its one and only job is to prevent you from changing, because in your brain's eye, change is not safe. Your brain does not care that you're trying to get healthy. Your brain knows, I don't like change. Change is not safe. This week, when you're thinking about Reese's Cups and you can't get them out of your mind and it's like this 24/7 obsession, or this week when you are missing your old routines, I want you to take a pause and I want you to notice what's coming up for you. Ask yourself, which one of these 5 resistance patterns am I experiencing? Because your brain is going to do exactly what it's designed to do. And the good news is that even though this is your brain's default, it doesn't have to stay your default. You can teach your brain new patterns so that it starts working for you instead of against you. And that's exactly what you get to experience inside the Sustainable Weight Loss Machine. It's a back to basics program designed to help you build in those new patterns one step at a time. Right now, at the time this episode is airing, you can join the priority list before doors open in September. And when you do, you will get a 5-minute fat burning routine to get you started. And I'll leave a link in the show notes for you to check it out. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for being here for my in-person and my at-home audience. I'm your host, Holly Bertone, and this is Weight Loss Forensics.